or splashing and dashing. We're talking about becoming a nation of pool pros. We talk about the latest products, trends, and training in the pool industry. Now let's welcome your host, with over a decade of industry insider experience and still the reigning champion of Marco Polo, Edgar De Jesus, and his co-host, John J.J. Flawless, the fastest netter in the West, and Zach the Pool Boy Nicholas.
Welcome, everyone, to the Pool Nation Live podcast. I am your host, Edgar De Jesus, and yes, I am the reigning champion of Marco Polo, along with John J.J. Flawless, the fastest netter in the West, and the famous Zach, the Pool Boy Nicholas. Today, we're talking about education and the launch of the Pool Nation Conference at the PSB Expo. We have all the details for you. I want to welcome everyone to our live podcast, a podcast where it's all pool talk, and we ain't talking about netting and jetting or splashing and dashing. We're talking about becoming a nation of pool pros. And yes, we will talk about the latest products, trends, and training in the pool industry. But before we get started today, I want to thank our visionary partners for this podcast, the Ultimate Pool Tools, the SPPA, Blu-ray, Aquastar Pool Products, Natural Chemistry, Raypack, Heritage Pool Supply, and our friends over at Hayward Pool Products. We want to thank them for their continued support. Mr. Zach, good morning. Oh, wait, Zach, good morning.
That's what I was going to say too. I'm already thrown off my game right here.
Zach, where are you?
Zach.
You're on mute.
He's a lumberjack dealing with trees today.
So we're just teasing everybody. Zach is out today. He has a big tree that's kind of hanging over his house that's going to be taken down. So he was a little bit nervous, right, John?
Yeah, I don't blame him. I would be a little freaked out about that.
You would be freaked out too?
I would, for sure. I've seen some videos of some trees doing some damage but mostly when, you got the husband says, "Oh, I can do it. I'll trim it myself," right? Or I'll cut it down. And then it turns into a disaster. Hopefully he didn't he bought quality when he came to hire the contractor to cut down the tree and wasn't as frugal as he usually is, right? Because you do not skimp out at times like this. So, yeah.
John, I think he's been,
I hope he went with the higher quote, right?
He's been bidding this one out for about 18 months.
I'm sure. And I hope he went with the highest quote. Yeah.
So here's the sad part of how this goes down. So Zach is all panicky because he's got to do that. And, he's stressed out about it over his house. And so John's like giving him some like major feedback, like, let's talk about insurance. Don't go with the cheapest. Here's the things that you should look for. Be careful with this. Make sure you're there, doing all that kind of stuff. On the other hand, I'm like, dude, all you have to do is have your phone out ready because you could like blow up on social media with that once that tree falls on your house. That's the only advice I can give you.
The other thing I didn't tell him, but hopefully he's listening, and I know when he does listen to it, he needs to, if he got a hold of the Fish and Wildlife or whatever, because there could be an endangered species living in that tree, and he can be held accountable to that. And you know what I mean? They might seize his property in his home and arrest him for.
Dude, you're gonna.
I know I'm gonna trip him out, right? Now. The dodo bird or whatever the only dodo bird that was thought to be extinct is living in his tree. In that one tree. And they're going to seize his property and turn it into a sanctuary for dodo birds. And
he's done, right? Like
he's done. It's over.
Forget it. It's over for you, Zach. Yeah. So anyway,
I think the fine is like 150,000 or something like that too. So it's not. Yeah, it's a little steep. Yeah.
And those are the ones that they come after and they just they don't give you payment plans. It's
no, they do. They just seize your property. They'll put it for sale. They'll sell it. You know what I mean? Whatever to the government will pay for it, like pennies on the dollar, and then apply it towards the fine. And then the rest is due at closing or something like that. I don't know. But
absolutely. They don't play around, Zach. So hopefully,
yeah, I just hope in all reality, I hope I hope he verified insurance, and I hope that the contractor has adequate insurance.
oh man, poor Zach. He's not going to
But
sleep tonight.
let's be honest. We know Zach, right? And we know how he is. I'm sure it's like a small little tree with like one little limb that's barely touching the roof or something like that,
He
right?
probably could have snapped it
Yeah.
off.
100%, right?
Oh.
100%.
He's like, it's touching my house. Like you don't
Yes.
understand. It's over
Yeah.
the roof and touching my house. I'm like, Zach, I could have gotten up there and snapped that branch
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, but he's been working on this for the last 18 months. So poor Zach. That's what you get for not being here, Zach.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, hey, big shout out to Jeanette. Michael, first response. What's going on? Yeah, Michael's going, it's a Charlie Brown Christmas tree. That's exactly what it is out there. Hey, Maria, big shout out to you out there. Jeanette, Mr. Reyes Condes, what's going on? Reyes, I expect you to be out in Dallas. We're going to talk about something today, and I'm not going to take no from you on this one. So you're going to need to come out for this one. So we're going to talk about it. Mr. Don Douglas, what's going on? Good morning. Thanks for jumping on. We're making fun of Zach because he's not here today. He's kind of cutting a tree over it at his house, but it's 18 months in the works. Yes. And he finally got there. So anyway, so big shout out to everybody out there jumping on. Hey, a couple of things. John, I know we're going to talk about it anyways, but I did want to talk about the luau that Heritage is doing on their new opening. So stay tuned, everybody. We're going to talk about that in just a couple of minutes here. They are doing, John, a truck giveaway. Can you believe that? That's and awesome. You know, trucks and like the max value of it, I think, is like $40,000. This ain't no Maverick for $18,995.
Right. This is what kind of truck is it? Do we know?
This is major. So they're going to be doing, it's out at 13384 Seymour Myers Boulevard in Covington, Louisiana today, which is their new pool store opening. So congratulations to them. They're going to be doing food, giveaways, live music, vendor showcasing their latest products, and they have the ability to enter and win a new truck. And then I'll give you the details of it out here at the bottom. Participants must register will receive a chance to spin and win. It's a spin and win. I like those. On the prize pad, no purchase necessary. Promo is valid on Friday, May 10th, which is today. The grand prize is valued at $40,000. Grand prize winner has the option to apply $40,000 on a truck purchase or take the cash value. I hadn't seen that. Damn. So they can get, dude, $40,000 for a truck. You know what? I need to go down there and spin because I need a new truck, but I can't afford to buy the truck that I want, John.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. I do that. The Fluidra does one too, I believe, every single year, and I sit there and I do the little for every X amount of dollars that you spend, you get to spin this little wheel, right? And I'm like I'm a sucker for this type of stuff. And every time you sell X amount of dollars in Jandy product or Fluidra product, you get a little spin. And then, but every single spin, it's like you get prizes, cash prizes, shirts. You get like a heater, I think is one of them, and then you get a truck to raffle for a truck. And every single spin I get is a truck raffle. I never win anything, but it's always for the truck raffle. So I spin and I just get a ticket for the truck raffle, right? And then and trust me, I've done a lot of spins over the years, right? And then
how many trucks have you won?
0. You know what I mean? So I'm a little, you know what I mean? But I think this one sounds like if you spin it and you land on it, you win it, right?
Yeah.
That's what
it sounds like.
I wish that when I spun and I hit truck raffle, that it was actually the truck that I won. I'd have like 500 trucks by now. But the reality is I get a raffle ticket and then me amongst everybody else, it never turns out. But I never win any of these things. But whoever is lucky enough to win the 40 grand or the new truck is pretty badass, especially for Heritage being so generous to do something like that. It's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money, and no purchase necessary, right? So you don't have to sell.
It's like one good. I mean, that's like maybe two good casino trips.
We should have gone there just for that spin, John. But we probably couldn't win. They wouldn't allow us to win.
Yeah.
So if we spun in one, they'd pull us to the side and be like, "Guys, we kind of got through the line. Let's not." So, anyways, but I could do with the new truck. You know what I could do is I could sell my truck plus the $40,000, dude. I could get a legit truck.
Yeah, 100%.
That I probably can't get because you know how many kids I have, John, and you know how many car payments I have, right?
Yes. I know.
So I'm going to be able to buy a new car 15 years from now when all my kids are gone and all their cars are gone. So anyways, hey, big shout out to Derek Conti. Hello from Connecticut. Big shout out to Connecticut. Hey, Derek, question for you. What's the weather like out there? What's the pool opening going on over there? I'm assuming we're in May, so they got a lot of stuff, scheduled and open. So type it on there. Let us know. And we can kind of get some info. I'm fascinated with that whole opening and closing thing. I need to do some more deep dives into that kind of stuff right there. So anyways, John, let's jump into today. You ready?
Yeah, let's get it going. It's going to be a fun one.
11 minutes in and we're jumping in.
Yeah. And we didn't even really do a good morning. That was kind of a good morning.
Oh, that's true, huh? Hey, good morning, John. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm ready to rock and roll today.
What happens when Zach is not here?
Yeah. I'm ready to rock and roll today.
Zach, this is your fault. This I don't want to say the word. This, show is all your fault because you're not here today. So anyways, everybody, I hope you're having a great Friday. John and I are going to jump in, believe it or not. We're 12 minutes in. So want to talk about a couple of things. We do have the Ray-Pac boot camp that's going to be happening in Oxnard, California on May 17th. So by the time that the people that aren't watching it, the people that listen to it, this podcast will be out on Monday. It'll be that week. We're going to do a networking event on Thursday, and that's going to be from 4 to 6 o'clock in Ventura. So for all of you that have registers, please note you should have gotten an email by now. If you haven't, go onto our Instagram, go onto the Pool Nation page, reach out to us through the contact us right there, and we'll kind of get back to you. But let's see. Derek is saying 50% open already. Weather is horrible. Uh-oh. What's the weather like? Let us know out there. So anyways, John, we have that networking event. I'm really excited. There's a lot of people that are responding that are going to the networking event, and it's going to be a big hangout, right? It's going to be connecting with pool pros, hanging out with us, creating that network out there. And then Friday, May 17th, starting at 9 a.m., we're going to do a deep dive into a 201 series heater class for Ray-Pac, something that has not been done to this extent. And rumors is that if you take the class, you're even going to take out the heat exchanger. Like it's all coming out, John. Like there's not going to be anything left inside of that heater that you're not going to touch, feel, smell, taste, whatever. You're getting in there into that heater. And these are live heaters. It's a safe environment, but these are live heaters for everybody. So there'll be water running through them. If you turn it on and it works, guess what? That baby fires up, boosh, and it gets going. If you can't get it back together, this is the sound that it makes.
It was funny.
The sound that you'll get.
It happens, right? I had a heater. We installed an Avia yesterday, and we were replacing an older Jandy LX. And this heater, one of the reasons why is the customer heard a big bang, and when we got there, literally the shell, like the top is like completely off, and the front panel's like blown off, and the thing was just completely like it looked like it got dropped off the roof, and not that bad, but again, it pretty much blew up. So I shut everything off, told her, let's not use this real quick. Let's shut the gas off and let's leave it at that. This thing's 30 years old. time for a new heater. So we just put in a new Avia, and it was funny because when my guy who came down to deliver the heater, I always have him take the old heater and bring it back. And he was picking it up, and we were trying to put it on the dolly, and the thing is just like, coming apart and falling apart. It was kind of funny, but yeah, heaters do blow up.
I had so Derek is saying it feels like March, too cold for May. That's interesting. We've had a couple of hot days, John. Not like you, obviously. We could never compare, but the other day it was like, man, it was almost 90 degrees, and then the next day it was like 65. But anyways, yeah, I went to install a heater too. So I went to install a heater with a buddy of mine. I was kind of learning, so I called him up and said, "Hey, I need to." So we went out, man. We put it in, and dude, it was over towards Huntington Beach, and the house was like literally right off the water, and he had a really small pool, all glass fence, right? So it's just gorgeous. But what happens in those houses is where the equipment is on the house to the side fence is really narrow. So we came in, and I was just learning, so he did most of it. But anyway, so we were sitting there, we kind of connected, do all that kind of stuff, dude. And then we turned it on, and all of a sudden it was like a gunshot just went off. Boom. I swear I almost hit the ground, like panicking. And I like freaked out, and you're in that enclosed space, right?
Yeah.
So you freak out even more.
Yeah. And I'm sure it was much louder too, because it's like
yeah. And then all of a sudden it's just like, again, bang. And you bam, and I'm like, I'm freaking out, right? And what it was,
you're getting flashbacks.
Oh yeah. It was talk about panic, because that was one of the first ones that I was doing. So I was just learning. I wasn't doing much of it. I was doing a lot more of the learning. And so I'm freaked out, right? And what it was is there was water in the gas line. So obviously it would kind of come up, and then just like boom. And then on another one, I went with Rod. I was kind of learning with Rod, and we go up to this heater, and the person's like, "Hey, there's something wrong with my heater." So we walk into the backyard, and Rod comes over to do it. Turns it on, dude, and it was calcified. I have never seen a heater dance like that one that day,
yeah,
dude. It was
they
like,
will.
like it was like it was bouncing. I like freaked out, right? And so, so talk about, so that's why until you see it, like you hear people say, "Oh, they could really calcify," and you're like, "Oh, really? What is it going to do? Like make a noise or a clanking noise or?" That kind of, no, when they're really calcified, man, those suckers are coming off the ground.
Yeah. It's like they're possessed,
Yeah.
What I mean? Yeah. It gets pretty crazy.
So I remember that one with Rod. He was like, it turns it up. He's like, "Yep, needs a new heater." Like this one's shot. And it was a really older Hayward heater, but anyways, my two stories. So Jeanette says it's humid. Yes, it's very humid out here. And then our boy Zach sent some little waving hands. So Zach, hope you're doing okay with that little bush that you're having trimmed over in the front of your house. Hope you're doing good out there. So anyway, so May 17th, we have the Raypak heater class, which is absolutely going to be a game changer for a lot of people out there. You're really going to know the in and outs of that water heater. And then the other beautiful thing is that John's going to do a class, and I'm going to actually let John talk about it because this is his baby.
Yeah.
We're breaking you in, John, by the way.
Yeah, I guess. Right. So in not only you guys are going to learn about everything you need to know about a heater. And our goal is, our feedback that we got at all the boot camps that we did, and we're known for Brad Duncan's heater class, and he does an amazing job, but there's a lot of content that needs to be covered, especially when it comes down to heaters, when we're installing them, the do's and don'ts, the legalities behind them, and where there's just not enough time in the day to kind of get really deep into the weeds when it comes down to repairing and fixing heaters. So the feedback was that, hey, we want to dive in a little bit deeper. Some of the people that are a little bit more experienced when it comes down to servicing and repairing pools and equipment. So we came up with the 201 class with Raypak, and they're going to basically, like Edgar was talking about, they're going to teach you everything and anything you need to know about a heater. And you're going to strip it down to to the heat exchanger and know how to fix it, replace it, know symptoms, know how to in real time know whether or not you're doing it correctly, so that you can take the skills that you have and go out to the field and use those skills, those new skills that you have. So we thought, hey, we have time to do another class. And we thought, well, why don't we do a chemistry class or something that is going to complement what we're trying to teach as far as the heaters. And that as pool professionals, we have a responsibility not only in keeping the pool clean, right? But we also have a responsibility in maintaining the vessel and to preserve the life of the equipment so that it lasts longer, right? And there's a lot of things that we do as professionals in the backyard that have a huge consequence on the lifespan of the unit, or how well the unit performs over the years, that we might not necessarily understand or realize. So our goal is to do a little bit of a chemistry class talking about what we do as a professional in the backyard, how to properly test, how to properly treat, how to properly dose, and then more importantly, how chemistry and LSI and what we add to the water and what we do and what we don't do, how that affects heaters, right? And not just heaters, but pumps and everything else. So we're going to be talking a lot about that. So we figured it's going to complement it so that everybody has a good understanding, not just from the technical aspect of it, but also from the chemistry aspect of it. And I'm pretty excited. I'm still working out and polishing up the details and putting it together, but it's going to be a fun class. It's going to be a 3-hour class. Anybody who's ever listened to me talk or been anywhere knows that I'm a little unpredictable. So make sure you guys are ready for an interesting time, because we're going to have some equipment there. We're going to be doing some testing. We're going to be doing some talking, and it's going to be real talk, not mumbo jumbo stuff that's just going to be on a projector, going through bullet points and talking about dry information. We're going to be talking about real life stuff that I go through every single day when I'm in the backyard, and stuff that years of experience of doing things. And hopefully we're going to be able to answer some questions, and it's going to be an open forum where we're going to be able to talk and have a good time. So I'm looking forward to doing it. Yeah, that's about it.
Now, I do have to tell you, I've gotten a couple messages and emails from people going, we can't make it. Is John's class going to be available?
We can't make it. Is it going to be available? You mean are we going to videotape it?
Like they can't make it to the event, but everybody's heard and everybody's eager to listen that and watch that. So
no, I don't think we can videotape it, because what goes on in that room stays in that room. You know what I mean? We don't. Right.
Oh, okay.
Right. It's going to be me unhinged, right? In that room.
It would cost us about $3,000 to edit all those and bleep those out.
All the bleeps. I think we'd go from a 3-hour class to like a 15-minute class when we took out all the unnecessary language. And I don't know. Maybe we can do something, but that's not in the plans. I don't think we're gonna record the first one. Maybe we will. Who knows? Maybe this can be I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe if it works out, if it does well, then maybe this is something that we're going to continue doing. I don't know.
If people cheer, we'll put it on. If people boo, we'll keep it off.
Yeah. Well, if people boo, they're never leaving the room. All right. You'll never see them again.
They went to the Pool Nation boot camp
and never came back
again. Oh, man. So look at that. We're getting over here. Don is saying, stream it. Maybe we will stream it.
Yeah, we can stream it.
Maybe Don, that's a great idea.
Yeah. Maybe.
That's a great idea. See what happens to me, John? See what happens to me. Don, this one is completely your fault. John, this is not my fault. But now my head is spinning. Don should have said, hey, guys, I have an idea.
Yeah, right. Maybe we could. That might be a good idea.
But here's what Don is going to make me do now. A small fee is what he's saying. I like your style. I like I like Don's style here. But here's what I'm thinking. Because now he's got my head spinning that I really kind of do want to stream this thing, John. But here's the thing. I would have to mic you up properly. So the sound comes up, right? At the same time, I know we're going to have other questions come up at this event. So the people that are in the audience are going to come up with questions. So we would have to have another mic for them to be able to obviously ask the questions, because then the problem, John, is the people that are streaming aren't going to be able to hear what the question is unless you repeat every question. And I know you're not going to repeat every question because you start going on your train ride and you forget about the passengers. You just,
I'm just rolling.
You just roll. So
I'm a big guy, dude. But when all that energy gets to get going, I get going and I don't stop.
And I would have to be going, waving at you from the background, but it's like 15 minutes later and the question has passed. So, but see what you do, Don? God, now he's got me thinking that we should do something, and we don't have a lot of time. So
yeah,
I'm going to have to think about this.
I'm still wrapping up the content, and we're looking to do this. I don't know. We only have it's literally what?
Dude, it's like 5 or 6 days. Yeah. So, but you know what, Don, I think we can make this happen. You know what? We're going to make it happen. Period. I've made up my mind. No, we're going to make it happen.
Time out.
John, this is why I love our community so much.
We'll talk about it.
No, this is why I love our community so much. They're the ones that come up with the ideas and we just run with them.
Yeah, we'll see.
But think about it, Don. I could totally. So if you know me, I freak out by things like this, right? Because it's like, do we have enough, connection? Do we have enough bandwidth? What's the audio like? What's the room like? What's the lighting like? All that kind of stuff. But I think we can make this happen.
Okay, we'll talk about it.
Because I could bring I'd have to travel now with more stuff, but I could bring our camera gear. We could set it up. We could live stream through Restream.
You're telling me that I have tunnel vision. I forget about the passengers, right? We're sitting there. You're going on your tangent. I'm saying, okay, we'll talk about it. You're just blowing me off and just continue doing your thing.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, this is all Don's fault. So you know what? He's over here. Look at that. An investment, revenue generating, we have an online, person managing everything. And he's saying next one, but I think we like to run with scissors, Don. So we might do it. So, and everything starts, he's saying it, everything starts with an idea. You know what, Don, I'm going to make this happen just for you, just because you gave me the idea. And I want everybody to see how we do stuff. We're going to make this happen, John. But YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram might drop us if you start using bad language. So just to give you a heads up.
We have to figure it out.
We got to figure it out. So anyways, but Don, thank you. Love the idea. Let's kind of figure this out and see what we could do. So anyways, so we are doing that boot camp. We're going to have the networking event the night before. It's going to be a great class. The next thing that we're going to be doing is a women's summit, August 28th and 29th. Stay tuned. We're going to be talking about that. Don says, sorry, John. He's apologizing to you for kind of throwing you under there. So,
I think it's a great idea.
So, hey, we want to talk about something that we forgot to talk about on Wednesday, and that was that we launched the very first Pool Nation Spotlight and Insights. And we're terrible because we put it out and we just totally forgot to talk about it on Wednesday.
When you said that this morning, right? I was like, what? Dude, we are so bad, right? This has been... we've been talking about this for 2 years, right?
Yeah.
So we need to do something like this. And it's been months and months in advance of work and putting this together and coming up with the content and doing I'm sorry, I was getting a text message, and getting a writer, right, and getting the interviews and getting all this stuff and coming up with content, working with our partners so we can come up with promos and all this stuff. Put all this effort and all this work into it, right? We don't even say anything. Right? we do podcasts, right? We're doing our Instagram lives. We have our social media accounts, right? LinkedIn, all this stuff that we do, right? And zero. And I couldn't help but giggle and chuckle a little bit just at how terrible we are at talking about some of the things that we do. But here we are. Here we are talking about it, and I thought it was really cool. It was nice to see it in my inbox, right? And the writing was badass, and seeing Alicia's smile, right? That was really cool. And then just seeing the quality of what was put together was exciting, and I'm looking forward to it. This is going to be a monthly thing.
That is correct. Monthly thing.
It's going to be a monthly thing until we run out of stuff to talk about.
So far we're 4 years in and we haven't run out of stuff.
That'll never happen with us, right?
So we put together the spotlight and insights, and really the focus of what we wanted to do was something that was a little bit different. So what's important for us is really to spotlight a lot of the amazing talent in the industry, and from every side, right? From the service side to the builder side to manufacturers to trainers to everything, the entire industry. And so a lot of it is focused around the people. We will do some business tips that we will be doing every month. And it's going to be something that won't be, 25, 30 pages. We want to keep it short. We want to keep it condensed. Our format is a little bit different. It's a little bit, meant for people to kind of be able to read. We know that sometimes it's hard to sit there and read a 2-3 page article. So the way that we've written it is in ways where you can kind of go in chunks and read different things and kind of get a quick highlight of what it is and figure out if you want to, continue to read it or not. And then the other thing that we wanted to do is we really wanted to be able to spotlight some of our visionary partners. We wouldn't be able to do any of the things that we do nowadays if it wasn't for them. So we're not this is not a thing for people to be able to kind of come and advertise and be able to kind of get to and just have this thing put together with tons of advertising. It's really more to spotlight to do that. And by the way, John, this is why I love our audience. Maria is saying, don't forget to like and subscribe. So if you want to get the spotlight and insights, what you want to do is go to Pool Nation, and at the bottom, you'll see enter your email address and you will receive that. But there's close to about 10,000, subscribers into this that they'll get the newsletter on a monthly basis. But anyways, we wanted to talk about some business tips, right? So the spotlight, the couple of the business tips, we wanted to do a monthly promo that's only for the Pool Nation. So on the first one, we have a promo right now, which is a total value of about $500 off from Aquastar. So if you go into the newsletter, there's a little code that you can scan, a little barcode that you can scan. And what they'll do is they'll give you $300 off one of their pumps. And then you will get also, they will mail directly to you some, an actuator, some 3-way valves. Go to it, check it out. All of a sudden I'm getting a cough here. You can go check it out, scan it, and you could do it. If you buy more than one pump, you get the $300 off, and you get the actuators, and you get the actuator and the 3-way valve. And what we want to do is we want to partner with our visionary partners, and every month have a really cool promo, but a cool promo, right? Not $20 off, not $10 off, a great promo for the pool pros out there. So every month we will have a promo from one of our partners. So
and not just any promo, right? I mean, we talk about these are like some pretty cool stuff that are only going to be available for a short period of time, and it's just our way of saying, we all like deals, right? And we all like good stuff, and we're very thankful and grateful that Aquastar was able to provide us with this promo and sweeten the deal with their new actuator and their new valves. So don't miss out on it, because once the promo ends, it ends, and you're not going to be able to get this deal. So if you guys are interested on it, make sure you get it, scan that barcode, do what you need to do, and take advantage of it, because it's free money.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a good value. I mean, we're talking $500, right? It's
no, for sure. It's
some chunk change.
No, yeah, it's a lot when you consider how much a pump costs, right? When you're talking about percentages, we're talking about a lot of percent. That's a good amount of money.
Right.
So yeah.
Absolutely. Hey, good morning, David. Big shout out to you out there, my friend. So, so anyways, go check out, you can check out the newsletter on Pool Nation. You'll see a big button there that says Spotlight and Insights. You click on it, you'll be able to see it. You can scroll through it. And towards the bottom, you have the Aquastar promo code. So get that there. Also on there, you'll be able to see the store opening for Heritage that we talked about with the luau, and they are giving away a grand prize of $40,000 out there. So go check it out. That's going to be at 13384 Seymour Myers Boulevard in Covington, Louisiana. It's today from 11 to 3. So as we speak. So if you're a pool pro out there, what you're going to want to do is get in your truck, go out there, because you can spin and win. And the promo is valid Friday, May 10th. Today, the grand prize is valued at $40,000. And the grand prize winner has the option to apply the $40,000 on a truck purchase or take the cash value. So get out there, and a big shout out to all the pool pros out in Louisiana. And you guys are in good hands with Heritage out there. So anyways, John, I want to talk about our next big thing, and we spilled the tea on Wednesday. I even had people calling me yesterday, John, going, we were listening on Wednesday, and then I was having some Windows tinted, and right when you guys were ready to spill the tea, I had to sign some paperwork. And what did you guys talk about? Tell me, what'd you guys do? So I'm sitting here on the phone kind of explaining what it is that we're doing. So we are going to spill the tea. We're going to talk about what we are coming up with next that I think is going to be a great thing. But John, let's do this. Let's take a word from our sponsors. When we come back, we're going to spill that gallon of tea.
Let's do it.
We'll be right back.
The Hyper Pole from Ultimate Pool Tools is a pool care pole designed by pool professionals for pool professionals, featuring precision-crafted carbon fiber and stainless steel construction. Go to ultimatepooltools.com or Instagram at Ultimate Pool Tools. Pool pros have specific needs when it comes to general liability insurance. The SPPA program has you covered. With 3 tailored and customizable general liability options, SPPA makes it easy for pool pros to feel secure. Find out more and get covered at thesppa.com. Now available, Pool Invoice. Pool Invoice is a pool billing software created specifically for the pool service and repair industry. It's developed for our industry and only our industry. Pool Invoice is built with recurring billing in mind. You can print, email, text invoices, or even send via WhatsApp. You can add recurring or yearly charges, accept credits, and set up autopay. You can even see when customers have seen the invoice. It even has a customer portal where they can log in and see, print, and pay invoices. It has all your customers' information on one page, so you don't need to search through hundreds of invoices looking for the one you need. Just go to the customer profile and it's all at your fingertips. Created specifically for the pool industry, Pool Invoice. Now available at poolinvoice.com. Blu-ray XL is the power of minerals working for you. Reduce your overall chemical costs and labor up to 50% guaranteed. Whether you have 20 accounts or 20,000, Blu-ray XL's direct pricing and free shipping to the pool trade have you covered. Improving pool professionals' profit and work-life balance is what they do. Blu-ray XL, the real mineral purifier. Visit them at BluRayXL.com.
Blu-ray all day.
Aquastar's new pipeline cartridge filters, available in 2 sizes, deliver top-notch hydraulic efficiency along with best-in-class filtration performance, approaching that of DE filters. Uniquely designed, open pleat spacing means 100% of the media square footage is usable. And these claims are backed by NSF test results. Designed with the pro's time and comfort in mind, the patented double locking system improves safety and ease of access, making filter cleaners faster than ever before. Available now. Ask your supplier for pipeline filters today.
Natural Chemistry, a leader in specialty water care solutions for over 30 years, is proud to provide products that make pool service easier than ever before. Its unique enzyme formulations in Pro Series Pro Blend improve efficiency of your pool program while reducing frequency of filter cleaning and scum lines. Natural Chemistry is also well known for its wide variety of phosphate removal solutions that include a non-clouding formula in Phos-Free and extremely high range removal with Pro Series Phos Remove or Phos-Free Max. Save time, save money, save work with Pro Series products. Stop sacrificing durability or efficiency with the help of Raypak's new Avia HD models that utilize NITEC, their exclusive industry-first technology. NITEC heat exchanger technology is Raypak's latest solution to superior strength and maximum efficiency when it comes to residential pool heating. With 900% more nickel compared to copper nickel in critical surfaces, NITEC creates an ideal surface to protect against scale formation and erosion without compromising on Avia's 84% thermal efficiency. Learn more at raypak.com/NITEC. The next evolution in lighting is here. Universal Color Logic 2.0 from Hayward. The latest in pool and spa lighting was designed with you in mind, making installation a breeze. Upgrades include a detachable cord and first-of-a-kind adjustable lower catch to overcome variations in plaster thickness. As always, Universal Color Logic lights retrofit into virtually any in-ground pool or spa while delivering industry-leading, vibrant color. Visit Hayward.com to discover more.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Pool Nation Live podcast. I am your host, Edgar De Jesus. I'm joined with John today. Well, I think I was joined with John today, but I don't see him on here anymore, so I don't know. I think he might have just ditched me and ran. He's like, you know what? I'm out. I'm just not doing this with Edgar today, so we'll see if he decides to kind of come back on. No. Yep, he's gone. So anyways, he'll be back on. I'm just messing with him because he is not back on. Hey, we're going to be doing a special episode next week, and I'm really excited about this one. So we got a message from a pool pro all the way out from Morocco, and he says, I hope this message finds you well. My name is Yosef, and I am the owner of a pool construction, maintenance, and pool product business based in Morocco. I've been following your work on Instagram and the podcast, and I've been impressed by your expertise in the field. As I strive to grow my business, I am seeking guidance from experienced professionals like yourself. I would greatly appreciate any insights or advice you can provide regarding the following. Business expansion. How can I effectively expand my pool-related services in Morocco? Are there specific strategies or trends I should be aware of? Marketing and branding. What marketing approach have worked well for you guys? How can I enhance my brand visibility and attract more clients? Product recommendations. Are there any innovative pool products or equipment that you would recommend in my local market? I understand that your time is valuable, but it would be grateful for any assistance you can offer. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a special episode next week. And Yosef, the podcast is going to be all about you all the way out in Morocco. And, you know, we talked about it. I got the message. I reached out to John. I reached out to Zach, and I'm like, hey, we've got to do this special episode. He sent out a lot of great information. So, Yosef, in the next podcast that we do, it's going to be all about you and your business out in Morocco. We are excited to be able to help you. So I just sent you another message. Check that out, and we will be able to jump in and help as much as we can. So,
did you miss me?
You know what? Here's what happens is Janie is saying phone call. Sorry, Edgar.
It was.
So you know what? You need to tell your customers that from 11, well, what time is it? That's 9 to 10 your time. You got to stay off your phone.
Well, I got this one. I
love it. Is that a customer or pool pro?
That's my customer taking a picture.
Hey, Lacey, some great information. So Lacey jumped on here. Thank you, Lacey. I'm going to make a comment to you in just a second, Lacey, but go ahead, John. Sorry.
No, it's just been, this has been an ongoing nightmare about trying to find a leak at a home. And the customer is like absolutely telling me that the pool, you know, his water bill is like excessive. And he's paying like twice as much or 3 times as much as what he usually does. So he's paying like $150 a month or $200 a month for his water bill. And granted, now think of this. This is like a $10 million home, right? Huge property.
Did the sprinklers come on?
But boy, he is a stickler, right? And I love him. And he's been a client of mine for I don't know, 8 years now, but he is like, God forbid, right? He's the type of customer like this, like he won't justify, like he has a hard time justifying spending, like $40 on a gasket or something like that, right? You know what I mean? Or something real small. But but if you can justify to him that, hey, you can save money like a variable speed pump, right? He'll spend $12,000 replacing all his pumps because he'll save a little bit of money in electricity, right? You know what I mean? He's just, and he tells me, I'm not cheap. I grew up poor, and I'm very smart with my money, and you know what I mean? It just needs to make sense for me. And I remember the first time when I was quoting the pool with him, he was like, he owns he's like in charge of a big VC, like venture capitalist company he owns. And he flies in with his private jet, you know what I mean? So this guy, buku cash, right? A lot of money.
Yeah.
And we're sitting there talking about like monthly service, right? What needs to happen. And it's a big property, right? It's a big property. And to kind of give you an idea, this property was once owned by Tony Robbins, right?
Okay.
So,
right.
So it's a nice place. And we're going, and he has like a nice big beautiful pool. He has a cold plunge. He also has a fountain, right? 8 pumps. He has just it's an elaborate system. But we're sitting there talking about service, and he's like, okay, John, I need you to sharpen your pencil on the price. You know what I mean? And literally like trying to knock me down like $25.
So he feels like he got a deal.
Yeah. But anyways, it turned out to be a great relationship between us. But he keeps telling me, I'm telling him the pool's not leaking. If there's a leak and it's running, it's something going on. So we ended up finding a way, and I isolated the autofill, and it ended up being the line between the autofill and the floats, right in between. Yeah. So we got leak detection, whatever they came out, whatever they honed in on it, they found it, and then they came out today, obviously, and they dug it up and they shut off the valve to the thing, and he's showing me that it's still leaking, that the pipe is still leaking, and he's sending it to me like, what's going on? Why is it still leaking? And I'm like, well, dude, I'm not the one digging. I'm not the leak detection guy. I'm not there right now. I don't know. I go, is there residual water in there or whatever? So he's going back and forth. He's calling me. I'm getting phone calls and all this kind of stuff. And look, here he is. There's the property manager now calling me. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's what I'm doing.
So you're gonna have to jump off this podcast and head down there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. So, anyways, so Lacey, a lot of good questions on there. I appreciate that. I do need to reach out to you, Lacey. So expect my call here within the next couple of days, maybe Monday, Tuesday. So, got to connect with you. So anyways, John, let's talk about what it is that we're doing at the PSP Expo. So we announced and we spilled the tea on Wednesday that we are working. I shouldn't say working. We're doing the first Pool Nation conference at the PSP Expo. And we want to talk a little bit about what it is that we're doing, kind of how we want that to be different. And what I want to do really quick is just kind of talk about the journey of how we got there. And the dream. So when we got together as Pool Nation, one of the things that at the beginning, we started doing podcasts. We kind of didn't have what we say was our vision, right? We kind of hadn't grown up yet. And a little bit through it, we kind of said, why are we doing this? What's the big ultimate goal? What is it that we want to, accomplish with this? And so we sat down and we kind of mapped out the next 10 years, and we've talked about it from the beginning, what we wanted to do to help elevate the industry. And it was, it was the first of it was a 10-year part where we would reassess everything after 10 years, but we have our goals to what we want to do. So when it came to education, we realized very quickly that education was key. And some of the education in the industry is great. It is great education, but we kind of needed to change the format a little bit. So when we started doing, the boot camps, a lot of it was really kind of trying to work on the hands-on aspect to it. And to us, it was really important to change the way that we did hands-on classes in the industry. And that, a lot of times in the industry, there's this PowerPoint and there's one piece of equipment in the middle of the room, and everybody has to learn off the PowerPoint, listening and watching that one piece of equipment. And really, most of us learn by actually doing, right? You actually learn by touching, by doing it yourself. And so, we went back to our partners and we said, hey, we want to change this. We want to change this style of training. We want it to be a lot more hands-on. We want people cutting wires, stripping wires, connecting, learning about the high voltage, low voltage, wiring pumps into intermatics, into different automation, all that. But we want the classes not to be a PowerPoint. We want no desk in the room. We want no chairs. We just want all the equipment in the room, and we want all the pool pros to be able to learn. On top of that, it can't just be one instructor. You need to have 5, 10 instructors in there, because what we want to do is be able to give a lot of that one-on-one, so that you don't have that third or fourth person just standing there and not doing any of the learning. So, we had a bigger vision, but we've kind of gone baby steps into the direction that we wanted to go. And, we were at an impasse this year where, we were thinking that the conference would probably be better suited for next year. We had a lot of work that we needed to do. We've been very fortunate with our partnerships, and we got to that goal a lot sooner than we thought. And so Zach, John, and I really kind of had to sit down and kind of, really come up with a strategy of, would we be able to pull off with the extra work that needed to be done? We want the education at this conference to be something like at no other educational conference. And we're going to talk about how we envision that. But, like John said, we need to make the train leave the station, because once the train leaves, there's no going back, right? And it's kind of what works, right? You got to announce it, you got to talk about it, you got to do it, you got to go full steam ahead. And we sat down as a team, and John's like, I'm going to take over this, and Zach's like, I'm going to take over that, and I'm going to do this. And that way we can kind of get everything done. So there's going to be 4 different aspects to the Pool Nation conference. There's actually going to be a 5th now, John. So, we are going to do technical classes, which I'll have John talk about here in just a second. We are going to have hands-on, we're going to have business, and we are also going to do retail. And we are also working on an event that we're going to put together. And we're kind of talking to Heritage. We're kind of working through some things. Hopefully we could pull that off, because I think it would be freaking phenomenal if we could do the vision of the event that we want to do. So, so for us, if you go back and listen to us, John, Zach, and I sat down, and, the first thing was, what are going to be our guardrails? What are going to be the biggest focus of Pool Nation? And we talk about them all the time. Some of you are going to go like, oh my God, I'm going to hear it again. But, we live by 3 foundational principles. And the first one is that we want to make every pool pro financially successful. And everything that we do has to fit into that. So when we do technical classes, they need to learn how to be able to service pools, service their customers. They need to be able to do hands-on, right? That's a different element of financial. When you get to that stage in your business really starts to excel from the financial standpoint. And then, there has to be the element of business. We need to bring the business element into it, because we talk about it all the time. You could be the best service guy, you could be the best repair guy, but if you don't have the foundations of business, if you don't have the foundations of making money, you might be good, but will you be great, right? So that's our number 1 foundational principle. Number 2 is creating a safe space, right? We want to create that safe space for everybody. And then number 3 is that anything that we do, any events that we do, anything that we participate in has to somehow elevate the image of the industry. And so when we started talking about the technical classes, and we started talking about the boot camps, and we started talking about the business, that kind of all falls into that financial success, because we truly believe that if pool pros are financially successful, it's really going to elevate the industry, which is our goal, is to educate and elevate the industry. So we started doing a lot of technical classes, and John had a huge vision for this as to how we were going to do this. And we've been talking about this for well over 2 years of the method of what we're going to do. And so I'm going to let John talk about that, because he's really kind of taken this one over. It's a passion project for him. And we want to talk about how that education is going to be different from the technical side.
Yeah. So, the one thing we've always, from the very beginning, we said, hey, if we're going to do something, or if we're going to come together and go on this journey, we need to do something different, right? We need to figure out a way, to better our industry. And if it doesn't, just like Edgar was talking about, then it's pointless, right? There's no point for me doing it. No point for Edgar, Zach, any of us wasting our times, our day away from our families, doing what we're doing without it having a positive impact on our industry. So we, in turn, when we do our trainings, our boot camps, our classes, our online courses, our Poolman University app, our podcast, it's everything that we do, right? We have to advance that narrative. And every single boot camp or every single training that we go through or that we do, one thing that we like to get from everybody is some feedback, right? And we take that feedback, just like I talked about a little bit earlier about the Ray Pack. We do these heater courses, which we think are some of the best heater courses in the industry. There are a lot of good ones out there, but we think ours is one of the better ones, because it's been tailored to what the feedback has been from the pool professionals, right? It's not about what somebody thinks, or what John thinks we should do, or what Edgar thinks we should do, or what Pentair or Hayward or Jandy or anybody or somebody up in a cubicle or in an office thinks this is what the training needs to be done, right? It's coming directly from the mouths of the pool pros and the people out there that are experiencing it, and are the ones that are absorbing and taking on this information. So we create these trainings around that, so that it benefits what they're asking for, what they're looking for, so they can help fill that need. And after we did these heater trainings, which we've done multiple, we've always gotten amazing feedback from it. But we've also had some suggestions, and that was that some people wanted more, because they were a little bit more advanced than what we were talking about. So hence why we came up with the 201 and we created that. Well, with all our other trainings that we do, the same exact thing. And it's more of, we're finding a need from a lot of business owners, right? And owners of businesses with employees, right? And also people just starting out in the industry, saying that they just want to be able to go somewhere, do something where they can learn, the basics, or have a good grasp on what it is to be a pool professional this day and age. And as far as like knowledge of chemistry, repairs, customer interactions, business acumen, when it comes down to, methods and tools and products and chemical choices and advancement in technologies and all that stuff that's out there, they just want to be able to have like a hub. That was one of the reasons why we created the Poolman University app. But we said, hey, not everybody learns the same way, right? People learn differently. Some people are readers. Some people like to be spoken to. A lot of people need to see it hands-on and in person, right? That's personally how I like to learn. So we said, hey, look, in conjunction to, our Poolman University app, let's create a class or a boot camp or a conference, right, is what we came up with. And so that we can start to tell a story, and from start to finish, right, on what it is to be a pool professional, and how to properly do your job, and give you the basic foundation, so that you have a clear understanding of what you need to do from waking up in the morning, right? Starting your day, going to distribution, stocking your truck, or however it may be, learning chemistry, learning how to test, how to dose, what to look for when you're in the backyard, when to test, how to treat it, all those types of things, all the way, how to look, how to address customers, all the way to to safety, right? And how to prevent unnecessary deaths and safety hazards, to be able to identify them and rectify them, right? Our responsibility is much more than just going into the backyard and vacuuming a pool and net and leaf. I always tell our customers and our clients that it's like, hey, you can hire anybody to get a net and a vacuum, to vacuum a pool and to net some leaves and to empty some baskets. That is not why I'm here, right? You did not hire us to come out here and be a janitor for your pool, right? That is, anybody can do that. And yes, that takes some time, right? But it doesn't take a lot of skill to do that. And I'm sorry, it really doesn't. A lot of people do it better than some. Some people are very efficient at it. Some people are this and that. I'm not taking that away from them, but I'm sorry to say, if that's what you think your responsibility is as a pool professional in the customer's backyard, you're sadly mistaken. In order for us to elevate our industry, we need to think of ourselves and understand the responsibilities that we have when we enter that backyard, when it comes down to safety, right? And maintaining thousands and tens of thousands of dollars worth of equipment, in a customer's backyard. So we wanted to create a teaching or classes, and for the technical hands-on technical aspect of it, we're going to be doing 13 classes, roughly anywhere between like maybe 12 to 15, but I think we're going to land on 13 is where we're going to be at. And the goal is that anybody who's just getting in this industry, or anybody who's been in this industry, is going to be able to start at the very beginning. And they're going to be bite-sized classes, about an hour to an hour and a half long, where people are going to start at the very beginning, and then they're going to take a journey and jump on that train and go on that ride. And at the very end, anybody who went through those courses is going to have a much better understanding of their job and their responsibilities as a pool professional. So that's our goal, right? And it's a very it's not going to be an easy feat, right? But this is something that we've been looking to do for a long time, and it's been hard because, one, you need to have qualified instructors, right? You need to have a lot of great individuals, and timelines and things need to happen. We need to be able to have a venue to be able to provide this this type of education. And thank you to the PSP Expo. You guys have been absolutely amazing, right? To be able to help us achieve this dream, because without you guys, we would not be doing it this year, 100%. So again, that's what we're striving and we're aiming for. And I think not anybody that's able to take it, right, that it's going to be able to do that portion of it, is I promise you, is going to walk away a much better pool professional, right? And it's going to help get you. And we say this tagline all the time: you got to be able to differentiate yourselves from the competition, right? We need to elevate this industry so that we all can do better, right? We all can get the credit, right, and make the money that we deserve for providing, right, the quality work that's needed. And I think this is a one step towards that. There's a lot of amazing training and education out there, and there's a lot of trade shows you can go to where you can get some pretty wonderful training. But it's one thing that we found is that a lot of it is category specific, right? Or it doesn't really encompass, the total job, right? Or all of our responsibilities, or at least a good portion of it. And in no way am I saying that anybody who's going to take this is going to be an absolute friggin' wizard, right? You know what I mean? But it will lay down the foundation so that you can be better and you can do better, or it might open your eyes and see how much more we're responsible for than we might have thought we were. So I'm excited about that. And then I'm as far as like the business courses, which is, I think is if not probably the most important, when it comes down to being a business owner, is I don't care how great you are at the technical stuff. I don't care how great you are at the hands-on stuff. If you don't know how to run a business, we've been preaching this from the very beginning. It doesn't matter, because if money's not coming in and you're not spending it right, and you're not making profits, and nobody's in this industry for charity. So if you don't have that financial understanding or that business acumen that we talk about, then it's all for nothing, really. And then it creates a lot of stress on you, on your families and stuff like that. So the business aspect of it, Edgar, you want to talk a little bit about it? I know you're real passionate on that portion of it too, as well. But this is going to be it's going to be second to none when it comes down to understanding business and people, more importantly, right? Your internal, your external customers, your employees, and the people that you serve and that you charge, and understanding them, hiring, firing, and stuff. And Edgar will go a little bit into detail into that and what that entails.
Yeah, and the biggest thing that we want to do is make sure, like John was saying, is that everything is a journey, right? Every class has to build on the previous class, and John has this all spelled out. Where, I mean, pool pros are going to go in there and know exactly what their responsibility is as a pool pro, right? The water safety, the protecting the bathers, right? That aspect of it. But then, he goes into detailing all these things, and everything builds on top of that. And once all that's done, he'll go into protecting the vessel, protecting the equipment, doing all those things to protect everything in that backyard. So when it came time for the education for all this, what was important for us is that everything builds on top of each other. So it's going to be a little bit different, because in most conferences, there's, this bunch of lists of training classes that you could take and you can pick and choose. Ours is going to be a little bit more of a curriculum base, where we are able to kind of take you through that journey step by step, so that if you are a company and you have pool pros, you can send them there. And from the training aspect, that's going to be able to check off a lot of those boxes. And then when we get into the business, it's the exact same concept that John just talked about, where we go into the business side. So, we partnered with some amazing people that are going to come out and train these classes. And I'll talk about that here in just a second. But a lot of it is look, like an example, the first track of business classes is building a team of teams, right? Like, how do you build that a team? What does that look like? What are, the things that you need to build that team? Then the next one is, the interview and the hiring process. And it's really learning about what to look for in those people that you need to fill those spots for your team. And then more importantly, the hiring process, right? The behavioral. And where it's going to be different is these classes are going to be more group and, participation, where an example, John and I will sit down and we'll have a scenario for interview, and it's role play. I interview John interviews me, and we kind of get through that practice. And then the next one is coaching for performance. We know that once you hire people, you're going to have to coach them to the performance. So there's going to be forms that you fill out, that you role play, that you do. Then from there, we kind of go into accountability, right? You need to, get results through accountability, top of the line, below the line, right? And how to be able to hold people accountable for you as a company to achieve your goals. And then from there, we talk about effective communication, which is completely needed. And then developing high performing teams, right? So day one is just really built all around the people side of your business. And then the next day, we kind of go into complete shift, where we're now talking about the business, right? We're talking about the branding. We're talking about the business strategy. We're talking about marketing, scaling and growing. What are all the things that you need to have in place in order to be able to scale and grow properly? And then we do accounting, we do bookkeeping, we do financials, we do profitability, we do all that conversation about the financials that we need to do. So, so there's just a lot of it is we wanted to put all these classes and all this curriculum so that everything builds on top of everything. And then moving on to the next, which ties into the business, is the retail side. And we partnered with, BioLab, which has been absolutely amazing partners. We went with the idea to them, and they're like, we're all in. We've got Jamie, Alicia, Ted, that are going to be teaching some classes, and they're going to be doing they're going to be doing onboarding for retail. They're going to be coaching for retail. They're going to be doing a merchandising class. So there's going to be an actual store that is set up there at the store. And then what happens is Ted will teach all these retailers how to be able to set up merchandise and how to move it in order to be able to merchandise properly. Then they're going to do a marketing, and then they're going to do a class on customer acquisition, because from the customer aspect in retail is very different than in the backyard, right? So what is that customer cycle, and how do you need to create that acquisition in order to be able to kind of keep those customers long term? So those are three of those. And then we have that fourth track that we go in, and it kind of goes back into the hands-on classes. And it was kind of, you know, almost the same thought. And we've been practicing, right, John, with all of our hands-on classes and stuff like that. But we're going to be adding more tracks. So, John, I know that this is another part that you're kind of heading up. So I'll let you talk about that.
Yeah. So the hands-on has been a hit, right? Everybody loves it. And we knew that, right? And we know and we also have learned how hard it is to put on something like this, right? To have a quality experience or a hands-on training course is one, very time consuming, very expensive, right? And not necessarily as easy as sitting down and doing like bookwork learning. But we know that the majority of the pool pros out there, at least from feedback, that's the easiest and best way for people to learn. And we've had nothing but great feedback saying, hey, look, we want more and more and more of this. So we took it, we sat down and we said, well, how do we expand? Right. And we're going to do that. We're going to be moving up to about 8 different physical hands-on, touching, cutting, wiring, doing things that you would be doing in a backyard. And we're going to be expanding to about 8 different classes. And our topics we're going to keep a lot of the same. We might have some different people doing them and different variants of it. But we're also going to be including heat pumps. So not just heaters, but now we're moving on to like heat pumps, because we know this is the future for us. And we need to embrace it. And even though a lot of, especially out on the West Coast, right? In the East Coast and Florida, heat pumps been around forever and people have been using them and doing them. But out here in our side of the world, heat pumps are not necessarily something that a lot of pool pros are very comfortable installing, selling, putting them in, understanding them, whatever it may be. So we need to jump ahead of the curve here and start talking about it. And because like California, especially, right? The way they're going with gas being outlawed and, talks of that and they're not going to be there. We need to come up with alternative heating methods. So, heat pumps are a natural fit for that. So that's something that we need to jump in and we need to do. We're going to be doing some other classes that we're not necessarily going to be talking about quite yet, but some really fun stuff. I mean, like some outdoor-ish things that you wouldn't expect to be able to have a class to do, that we're going to be bringing to the conference. And we just need to tie up a couple different details, but it is going to be well worth your while. Where you guys are going to not only learn everything on the the chemical side and the backyard. You're going to be learning how to fix stuff, how to repair stuff. You're going to be learning how to become better businessmen and women. You're going to if you're ever going to get into the retail aspect of it, because a lot of service professionals, sometimes companies are builders, they're retailers, they're service providers. So it's going to be a place where you can literally go there, and it's almost like our Poolman University at a hands-on, right? So that's how we're kind of envisioning it, and we're looking at it. So I'm excited, and it's a little scary, huh?
I like how you said on Wednesday it's going to be the Disneyland for pool pros.
Yeah, I did, right? It is going to be the Disneyland.
I love that.
For pool
I love
pros,
that.
Right?
You said that, and I'm like, I love that.
You're going to go there, and it's just going to be like, wow, this is all for me, and I get to touch and play and have fun with all this stuff and learn all these things, and it is going to be very fun, because not only are you going to have 3 days of amazing learning, hopefully, right? That's our goal. But then after that, you're gonna roll right into the PSP Expo, right? Where you're gonna get to go there and now see these products and see all the vendors and shop the showroom and network and build. And then at the end, right, we're gonna have the Pool Nation Awards there. So it's like a mini vacation, right? And it's gonna be well worth it. And we're very excited that we're able to finalize this and make it happen and work with the PSP Expo and all of our visionary partners, because without them, it it just wouldn't happen so soon. So we're very grateful and thankful for that. And everybody start marking your calendars, man. Get these dates, get your hotel rooms, get what you need to do. No excuses, right? This is like something you've never experienced before in the pool industry, or at least that I've seen, that as long as I've been in it, where this has been available to the pool pros. So do whatever you got to do. I promise you, when you leave and you go through these classes and attend the event and the show and our awards, it'll be an experience like nothing else, and you will walk away a better business owner and a better pool professional for sure.
And we're working on another event for those 3 days. We kind of can't share that yet because we're still working out all the details. So we'll spill the tea on that soon. But it's going to be an event for all the attendees, local pool pros, all that kind of stuff. We're going to do something different. Can't share that just yet. We're kind of working through the details. So hopefully I'll have that all wrapped up next week and we can talk about it. But it's going to be exciting. And if there's one thing that you know about me, Zach, and John, is we love to hang out and have a great time. So it's going to be something where we can all come together, all have a great time together and create and build that network. That's what it's all about. So let's see here. A mini vacation. I definitely need to take some heat pump classes with y'all. Y'all are serious industry angels. We appreciate that, Lacey, very much. Let's see here. Mini vacation. Go through our hotel block on our website. Rooms at good rates already reserved. So what you're going to want to do is go to the PSP Expo site, and then there is accommodations. You can check it out through there. They negotiate some really good rates, and they have great ranges of hotels. But here's what I'm going to tell everybody. Everybody leaves it for the last minute. And what's going to happen to you is what happened to Zach, right? We're going out to Ray-Pac. He kept waiting. I kept telling him, don't wait, don't wait, don't wait. And guess what? He waited, and guess what? He had to pay. So rates always go up as you get closer to whatever event. So the further out that you get them, the cheaper that you're going to get them. So what you're going to want to do is go out there to www.poolspapatio.com and then go through there. You could check out the hotels, all that kind of stuff. The beautiful thing, people, is this far out, you can book them. They're going to give you a cancellation period, so you can look at that. So if eventually you can't make it, you can't make it. But if not, you already have it booked. It's going to be a great time, and we are looking forward to it. And it's going to be like nothing that you've seen out there when it comes to the whole conference, the event, all that kind of stuff. So anyways, I hope that we see a lot of you guys out there. It's going to be epic. And then we roll all the way into the Pool Nation Awards, and we've started looking at venues. So I do have to thank Hasa, because Hasa reached out, and actually John Hasa was putting pressure on me going, chop, chop, let's wrap this up. Let's go. And I'm like, wow, we're still like afire. And they're like, no, let's go. So big shout out to Hasa for the after party. We're going to work on that. We're working on a lot of great things for the Pool Nation Hall of Fame. We're getting custom jackets made, right, John? John and I kind of finalized that yesterday. There's going to be a promo for all the gentlemen that want to get a tux rented through the Men's Warehouse. We'll give that as we get closer, but there'll be a promo code, $50 off. You'll be able to measure yourself wherever you're at. They ship it to you to the closest one to the convention center. You could pick it up there, use it at the awards, and then take it back. So we got a lot more details coming up. John, let's do this. Let's take our final word from our sponsors. When I come back, I want to get your final thoughts. And by the way, all this conversation just fires me up. So
let's do it.
We'll be right back.
The Hyper Pole from Ultimate Pool Tools is a pool care pole designed by pool professionals for pool professionals, featuring precision crafted carbon fiber and stainless steel construction. Go to ultimatepooltools.com or Instagram at Ultimate Pool Tools. Pool pros have specific needs when it comes to general liability insurance. The SPPA program has you covered. With 3 tailored and customizable general liability options, SPPA makes it easy for pool pros to feel secure. Find out more and get covered at thesppa.com. Now available, Pool Invoice. Pool Invoice is a pool billing software created specifically for the pool service and repair industry. It's developed for our industry and only our industry. Pool Invoice is built with recurring billing in mind. You can print, email, text invoices, or even send via WhatsApp. You can add reoccurring or yearly charges, accept credits, and set up autopay. You can even see when customers have seen the invoice. It even has a customer portal where they can log in and see, print, and pay invoices. It has all your customers' information on one page, so you don't need to search through hundreds of invoices looking for the one you need. Just go to the customer profile and it's all at your fingertips. Created specifically for the pool industry, Pool Invoice. Now available at poolinvoice.com. Blu-ray XL is the power of minerals working for you. Reduce your overall chemical costs and labor up to 50% guaranteed. Whether you have 20 accounts or 20,000, Blu-ray XL's direct pricing and free shipping to the pool trade have you covered. Improving pool professionals' profit and work-life balance is what they do. Blu-ray XL, the real mineral purifier. Visit them at BluRayXL.com.
Blu-ray all day.
Aquastar's new pipeline cartridge filters, available in 2 sizes, deliver top-notch hydraulic efficiency along with best-in-class filtration performance, approaching that of DE filters. Uniquely designed, open pleat spacing means 100% of the media square footage is usable. And these claims are backed by NSF test results. Designed with the pro's time and comfort in mind, the patented double locking system improves safety and ease of access, making filter cleaners faster than ever before. Available now. Ask your supplier for pipeline filters today.
Natural Chemistry, a leader in specialty water care solutions for over 30 years, is proud to provide products that make pool service easier than ever before. Its unique enzyme formulations in Pro Series Pro Blend improve efficiency of your pool program while reducing frequency of filter cleaning and scum lines. Natural Chemistry is also well known for its wide variety of phosphate removal solutions that include a non-clouding formula in Phos-Free and extremely high range removal with Pro Series Phos Remove or Phos-Free Max. Save time, save money, save work with Pro Series products. Stop sacrificing durability or efficiency with the help of Raypak's new Avia HD models that utilize NITEC, their exclusive industry-first technology. NITEC heat exchanger technology is Raypak's latest solution to superior strength and maximum efficiency when it comes to residential pool heating. With 900% more nickel compared to copper nickel in critical surfaces, NITEC creates an ideal surface to protect against scale formation and erosion without compromising on Avia's 84% thermal efficiency. Learn more at raypak.com/NITEC. The next evolution in lighting is here. Universal Color Logic 2.0 from Hayward. The latest in pool and spa lighting was designed with you in mind, making installation a breeze. Upgrades include a detachable cord and first-of-a-kind adjustable lower catch to overcome variations in plaster thickness. As always, Universal Color Logic lights retrofit into virtually any in-ground pool or spa while delivering industry-leading, vibrant color. Visit Hayward.com to discover more.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Pool Nation Live podcast. Look at that. Jeanette is going calendar marked. Nice. And she's kind of close by. I know that Jeanette will be there. She's absolutely amazing. She's part of the Pool Nation family. We appreciate everything that you do for us, Jeanette. I'm going to post up here the link for the accommodations. Anybody that wants to check it out, go ahead and check it out. So excited about this. So, John, I know that you've got something that you need to deal with, but let me get your final thoughts.
Yeah. So I was thinking about it, and I'm going to keep it nice and short here. And I just want to be real with everybody. If you guys have the ability, and I'm being honest, if you guys have the ability, I know sometimes life gets in the way and we have families and we have things that we can't, that hold us back, that we can't make or take that much time off of our day or our week in order to get to a training or a class. I get that because we're in that position a lot of times ourselves, but sometimes there's an opportunity that comes up that is so worth it that you have to sometimes, right, go out of your way to make sure you can make it happen. And this is one of those things, and I mean it. There has never been anything like this before available for any pool pro. And I promise you that if you guys take the time out to join us at the Pool Nation Conference and the PSP Expo, right, and then do the awards and go through the whole experience, that it will be something that you have never experienced before in the industry, and you will walk away a better person, right? You will be better at your job. You will be better at what you do. You'll be able to provide more for your clients. You'll be more efficient at your work. You'll be able to hopefully make more money, so that in turn, right, it can help your family as well, right? Because this is why we all do it. So I don't want to hear, time after time after time after time, when we do these boot camps, we put these things on, people constantly ask me, go, oh, we're putting on these classes, oh, I can't do it, or I can't do this, or I can't make it, or this happened, or I got too many pools, or I can't stat, or whatever it may be. On some of our smaller classes and courses, I get it, but on something like this is a priority. And I want to urge, all my friends and everybody who listens to us, if you have the means and you're able to make it out there, give it a shot. I promise you won't be disappointed. All right. We know it's just a total of 6 days, between us, our awards, and the conference and the show, but it will be an experience like no other. So do what you got to do. Start planning now in advance. Make it work, make it happen. It's going to be during the wintertime, right, when water's cold, so it's not going to be too crazy for most of you. It's not swim season. So if you can make it work, make it work. You won't be disappointed, and I look forward to seeing everybody there at the Pool Nation Conference, because it's going to be quite the event.
It's going to be epic.
And that's it. I'm getting blown up by him again.
You're getting blown up over there.
Times. I gotta go.
So the last thing that I'm going to mention here is I absolutely agree with John. You got to spend, you got to do the work, you got to do that extra time in order to be able to excel to the next level. So come out and join us. Also, if you are an exhibitor at the PSP Expo, and yes, you have to be an exhibitor at the PSP Expo, and you think you might want to participate in this special thing that we're putting together, reach out. You go through our website, send us some information. If you have my phone number, reach out. We'll be reaching out to some people soon for this event once we get it finalized. But again, if you are a vendor, a manufacturer, anything that is already attending the PSP Expo, and again, I'm going to repeat, yes, you have to be exhibiting at the PSP Expo, reach out to us and we can talk about kind of what we have in store from that side. So anyways, I hope everybody has a great weekend. Hey, next weekend, we will not have a live podcast because we will be out at RAPAC, but we will be recording the podcast for Yosef. We'll be putting that one out. And so we will catch you guys right after that. So stay tuned. John, thank you so much. Go deal with what you got to do. Head out there, take care of that customer, say hi to the family, and we'll catch everybody next week. Have a great one,
guys. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Pool Nation podcast, a member of the Pool Nation family. You can listen to us live every Friday here at 9 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Central, and 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. You can find us at Pool Nation or poolnationpodcast.com, on Facebook, or on Instagram at pool.nation. And to find more info about Pool Invoice, the billing software built specifically for the pool industry, go to poolinvoice.com. Before you go, this is what the pool industry has been waiting for. PoolmanUniversity.com. It's the first platform dedicated to learning the swimming pool service and repair industry. A pool service community where you can connect and find videos on business, service, water chemistry, and repairs. See you there at PoolmanUniversity.com.